In this video, I will show you how to configure the modules in an Opto 22. So here in this picture you see an Opto 22 with 3 modules attached: digital input, digital output, and an analog output. Up close, these modules look like this, and on their sides they have the model information which you will need later. So snap IDC5D, snap ODC5R, snap-AOA23. Not shown is an analog input, which we also do support, but I don't have one here to provide a picture of. So we start by starting the Pack Manager software. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up a configuration in Pack Manager and save it to a file. So start by saying File, New. We're going to give it a file name. I'm going to embed some, it's a description of what this panel is going to contain. It's going to contain 1 digital input, 1 digital output, and 1 analog output. So I put that right into the file name so it's easier to keep track of. Next step is to double click on I/O units and click Add. So here again I'm going to provide a name. It's going to reflect the same name that I gave to the file. Here I'm using underscores because they do not allow me to use dashes here. You can also put in a description, again just reflecting what modules are going to be on this panel. The type default is fine. I'm going to set the temperature units to Celsius. I'm going to use the IP address that we always assign to our Opto panels. That's all we need to do here. Click OK. It shows up in this list. Now we want to close this and open this entry here, and we're going to modify points. So I double click on that, and now you see the what Opto calls the points. I refer to them as slots. These are module slots. So we're going to click Add. Now here's where we add the types of modules that are physically going to be on the panel. The first one, if you remember, is a digital input. So we select digital input. Now we need to select the model number that we will be using. And so let's go back and look at that. That was the Snap IDC5D. So we need to find that in the list. Snap IDC5D, this one. Okay. Let's go to the next slot. This is a digital output. Its model number is ODC5R. In the next slot is going to be an analog output, and its model number is AOA23. Okay, select OK. Now, notice these are the individual data points. These have defaults which we do not need to modify. You can look at them and see what the defaults are, but we do not need to set these. On the analog, if you look at one of those, it's already been defaulted to 4 to 20, which is how we configure our analog output. So the defaults are fine. I'm going to cancel that. I'm now going to close this, and I'm going to select under File, I'm going to select Save. So now we have a file out there. I'll bring this window over. This is where I save that file, and you can see that that file does exist. Now what we need to do is we need to send this file to the EEPROM of the actual Opto 22 panel. Under Tools, Send Configuration to I/O Unit. So here's the information that we're going to send, and we're going to send it. You need to pick this guy and click send. There. Configuration saved to flash. Device 250 complete. Now I can close this window. And now we need to test to make sure that our configuration did indeed get sent to the device. To do that, we typically recycle the power on the panel to make sure that it can correctly read its EEPROM and self-configure. Okay, once the machine has been repowered, go to Tools and Inspect, and let's go to Point Config, and let's make sure that each of the modules is correctly configured. So slot 0, we see it's a digital input. Slot 2, or well, the second one, labeled 1, is a digital output. And in the third slot we have an analog output. Now to test the analog output, you would need to have a voltage meter, and you would need to know what points to touch with the meter and read the value. We're going to do a quick test here. We're going to set a digital input point and then physically look at the panel to make sure that that light has come on. To do that, let's go to our digital output, which is this one. So we have selected the slot that has the digital output, and we're going to click this button to turn that point on. And now when we go look at the panel, we should see a red light on point 0. And if I were to select point 1 and turn it on, we should also see that that one has been turned on. This concludes this video showing how to configure the modules on an Opto 22 panel.